Anastasia Steele had never imagined that the man she had loved for 4 years, her boyfriend from college, would fall head over heels for her stepsister the moment he laid eyes on her. He pursued the other woman with a fierce passion that left Anastasia heartbroken. But this time, she refused to cry or act foolishly like before. She gathered everything her stepsister had sent her, gifts meant to mock or claim territory, and threw them all away. Even the painting she had planned to give him as a birthday surprise, she burned it to ashes in a quiet ritual of letting go. On his birthday, as everyone waited for her at the party, Anastasia slipped away from the glittering world of Beijing's elite circles. Before boarding her flight, he messaged her, asking why she hadn't arrived yet, saying the whole group was waiting. She smiled faintly, ignored it, and blocked him forever. The moment he had declared that his girlfriend was now her stepsister, Anastasia had picked up the phone and called her mother's old friend. "Annalena," she said calmly, "I've decided to move to Hong Kong. And about marrying Damien, I've thought it through. I agree." She no longer wanted him. Damien Sterling, the powerful billionaire CEO her aunt had suggested as a match, a possessive husband in a marriage of convenience that promised security and perhaps something darker, was her future now. Aunt Elena sounded overjoyed on the other end. "I'm so glad you've come to your senses. After your mother passed, I've always wanted to take care of you in her place, but there was never the chance. Now you'll finally be here, and I can look after you like she would have." Her voice choked with emotion, and Anastasia comforted her gently. "Please don't be sad. Give me half a month to wrap things up here in Beijing, then I'll come. Of course, when you arrive in Hong Kong, I'll have Damien pick you up." After hanging up, Anastasia's gaze lingered on the two photos by her bed. One was a family portrait with her parents, the other a graduation shot with her ex, the man who had once been her childhood sweetheart. Back in their sophomore year, on her birthday under a sky bursting with fireworks, he had confessed his love, his eyes filled only with her. But in just 4 years, that gaze had shifted entirely to her stepsister, leaving no room for anyone else. Even her father, who had once treasured her like a priceless gem, now doted on the stepsister, a girl with no blood relation, as if she were more precious than diamonds. On the stepsister's birthday after she joined the family, her father threw an extravagant gala, dressing her in custom couture adorned with layers of Van Cleef and Arpels jewelry, while Anastasia stood in the corner in last season's dress, watching a celebration that wasn't hers. Her father and ex escorted the stepsister into the midst of Beijing's high society, announcing loudly that she was their treasured baby girl. That day, Anastasia became the laughingstock of the entire elite circle. Her thoughts were interrupted by the door bursting open. Her father stood there, coughing awkwardly, his expression uneasy. "Your sister's health is fragile, and your room gets the best sunlight. Maybe you two could switch for a few days." Anastasia didn't respond, her eyes drifting to the stepmother and stepsister behind him. The stepmother quickly chimed in, a calculating glint in her eye. "No need to trouble the young miss." The stepsister put on a pitiful act. "Yeah, Dad, I'm fine. I don't want to upset my sister." Her father grew stern. "This isn't trouble. You're my daughter too. As the older sister, you should be understanding." Anastasia stood by the bed, staring at them. She thought the pain would overwhelm her, but it only came as a dull, persistent ache. No tears fell. She simply nodded with a smile. "Okay. I'll switch. Have the staff come help me pack." In half a month, she would leave this place forever. Which room she slept in no longer mattered. Her father's anger froze on his face. He clearly hadn't expected her compliance. He had probably prepared harsher tactics to force her out. Disappointment builds over time, and eventually, you stop caring. That's where Anastasia was now. In front of all three, she dragged 2 large suitcases from the walk-in closet and packed her clothes methodically. When she finished, she looked up calmly. "If you don't like the rest, just have someone throw it out." As she pulled the suitcases toward the door, her father called after her. "The room across the hall is smaller, but it'll do for you." She knew the one, a north-facing guest room with tiny bathroom, closet, and bed. She didn't argue, just dragged her things to the end of the corridor and settled in. Her father grabbed her arm, frowning. What kind of tantrum is this? Anastasia met his eyes steadily, no emotion flickering. I'm not throwing a tantrum, Dad. Has that room been cleaned? No. You want me to live in dust? You forgot I have allergies. Besides, I'm just a guest now. This is plenty. She shook off his hand, pushed into the room, and closed the door firmly. This house was nothing more than a temporary hotel to her now. She's mine now. No one else will ever touch what belongs to me. Damien Sterling's possessive grip would claim her completely, and she'd be his little wife, his to ruin. The next morning, a knock woke her. Through the cracked door, she saw the stepsister in a pink silk nightgown, holding a glass of milk, trying to push in. Sister, I know you're upset. You think I stole him and now your room. My eyes are all red from crying. Tears welled dramatically. I brought this milk since you skipped dinner last night. Please don't be mad at me. Anastasia stared at that innocent face and suddenly understood why her father and ex adored her so much. Who could resist a fragile victim? Through the gap, she said coolly, save that act for men. Whatever you want, take it. Just stay out of my sight. You disgust me. She slammed the door. Moments later, sobbing echoed outside, followed by furious knocking from her ex. When she opened it, he stood there, face dark, cradling the crying stepsister. How can you be so vicious? She's your sister. I recall my mother only had one daughter. Where did this sister come from? He sneered. I really misjudged you. His words cut deep, but the pain felt almost satisfying now. The stepsister clung to him. Don't blame sister. It's my fault. Whatever she does to me is fine if it makes her feel better. He rubbed her bruised arm tenderly. Look at this mark. If you're unhappy, come at me. She's already pitiful enough. As the spoiled young lady, can't you let her have something? Anastasia laughed bitterly. Let her. I let you go. I let Dad go. I let the room go. What more does she want? Everything? Her eyes burned, but she held his gaze defiantly. The stepsister whimpered. Don't fight because of me. It's all my fault. She tried to kneel in apology, but he pulled her up. This isn't your fault. Don't kneel to her. He turned to Anastasia, eyes full of disappointment. You envy everyone being good to her, but with your arrogant ways, who could tolerate you forever? You've become so twisted. He stormed off, protecting the stepsister. Anastasia laughed again. He used to love her spoiled, untamed side. Now he couldn't stand it. In that moment, she finally admitted the man she loved had died long ago, buried in her memories. You're mine, baby girl. No one else gets to break you but me. Damien would punish any disobedience, his dominant hands marking her as his submissive forever. She had too much to handle to dwell on him. When she left the house with her bag, her father and the step-family dined happily in the hall, like a real family. As she headed to the orchestra, her father called after her sarcastically about wasting time there instead of staying home like a good daughter. It was ironic. When she became principal violinist, he had beamed, calling his pearl meant to shine on stage. Now she was less than the stepsister. The orchestra director was reluctant to accept her resignation letter. Why? You're going to Hong Kong permanently? She nodded, and he handed her a recommendation letter. You're too talented to waste. Take this to the Hong Kong orchestra. You can still be principal there. Colleagues insisted on a farewell party, but she opted for a simple dinner. That night, in the usually quiet friends group chat, her ex posted suddenly feeling like getting married. What should I do? The group exploded with teasing, assuming it was about her, preparing red envelopes for the wedding. But he quickly clarified, don't misunderstand. It's not Anastasia. He added the stepsister to the chat. This is your real future sister-in-law. Silence fell. Then greetings trickled in for the new bride. Anastasia typed congrats. Wishing you both a lifetime of happiness. Then she left the group. His call came immediately, demanding she apologize to the stepsister for quitting dramatically. Fury and chill spread through her. Why? You made everyone think badly. There's a limit to tantrums. Under the moonlight, she whispered, impossible. You want me to grovel? Dream on. She hung up, cried one last time hugging her mother's photo, and vowed never again. Aunt Elena booked her first-class ticket for the day after her mother's death anniversary. Anastasia sorted her belongings, leaving most for the stepsister except her mother's photos and keepsakes. On the anniversary morning, she bought daisies, her mother's favorite, and headed to the cemetery. But in the side hall, her mother's memorial was chaos, photos smashed on the floor, covered in footprints, offerings scattered, the stepsister's dog chewing them while she clapped delightedly. Rage surged. Anastasia rushed down, kicked the dog away, grabbed the stepsister's hair, slammed her against the table, and slapped her hard. The stepsister screamed. Her father pulled Anastasia away furiously. "What are you doing? How dare you hit your sister?" The stepsister sobbed in his arms. "Dad, save me. She wants to kill me. You've gone too far." For the first time, Anastasia defied him. "Didn't you see her letting that beast destroy Mom's things?" He glanced dismissively. "You still can't hit her. Your mother's been gone so long. Dead people don't matter more than the living." His words stabbed like knives. The stepsister whimpered. "It was an accident. I was going to apologize, but sister attacked." She showed a bruised arm tearfully. "Dad, maybe Mom and I should move out." Her father slapped Anastasia. Stunned, she didn't dodge. He seemed shocked too, but left with the stepsister. Anastasia yanked her back and slapped the other cheek. Her father roared. She stared him down, a thrill of satisfaction amid the pain. "Yes, I'm unreasonable now. You only see her, but when she bullies me to my face, I can't fight back? Next time you hit me, my slap lands on her. Try me." She picked up her mother's photo carefully and left with the flowers. Her father paused at her question about remembering the anniversary, then walked away. She smiled bitterly. The ticket was for the next afternoon, so she packed. But the stepmother burst in and slapped her. "How much do you hate her? Putting cat hair in her bed. She's allergic. You want to kill her?" Cheek burning, Anastasia slapped back. "I hate you both. Don't play games. You want me gone? Fine. Get out of my room now." She grabbed a vase threateningly. Her father demanded why she disrespected her stepmother. "You're too disappointing. Move out tomorrow." She smirked, smashed the vase at his feet. Perfect. That night in the garden, she dug a pit and burned photos with him, with her ex, the painting, everything tying her to the past. She packed her mother's photos safely in a hidden compartment and left the house of 20-plus years without looking back. Outside the gates, her ex's luxury Maybach pulled up. She ignored it, but the window lowered, revealing his handsome, aloof face. "Where are you going?" Dragging heavy suitcases and her violin case, she kept walking. He got out, blocked her. "Need a driver?" "No." He grabbed her wrist. "So stubborn today. Cry to me like before, and maybe I'll soften." She pulled free, calm. "I don't need pity anymore. I'm tired." He sneered but eyed her doubtfully as flirty sounds came from his car with the stepsister. Thankfully, tomorrow Hong Kong awaited. She booked a presidential suite at an airport hotel with her father's card. One last indulgence. At noon, he messaged condescendingly, "It's my birthday." "Old place. Call me." She canceled the booking, waited for her ride. In the VIP lounge sipping tea on her first-class ticket, messages flooded her father urging her to attend. To be mature since they'd be family soon. She replied sharply, blocked him too. Boarding for Hong Kong, his call came. Airport announcements echoed her name as the gate closed. "Soon, little wife, you'll be mine. In my New York penthouse or Italian villa, on my private jet or yacht, I'll claim you completely, punishing every defiance until you're begging, good girl, pregnant with my heir. Touch you and die. That's the rule for anyone else. You're mine to ruin, baby girl, in ways that'll shatter and rebuild you." As the plane lifted off, Anastasia Steele left behind the pain, stepping into a dark romance with the obsessive alpha male who would become her possessive husband in a forced marriage that promised revenge on her past, jealousy that burned, and a luxury lifestyle laced with dominant submission. The age gap between them only fueled his grumpy protectiveness, turning her sunshine into his shadowed obsession. Enemies to lovers at first sight, But soon she'd carry his heir, bound forever in this marriage of convenience turned possessive nightmare of pleasure and pain. She's mine. Every curve, every moan, every breath. No escape, baby girl. Mine forever.